a new tool, but how we actually use it. We are applying some rules to it. For example, build on the ideas of others is one really important rule. So we're sitting there for the brainstorming and everybody's throwing in some ideas. And then you take an idea and build on it. So you add some things to it. Normally in school you're taught, well, if you're copying from somebody, you're cheating. But over here we want you to copy as much as possible. Also, we want you to defer judgment. Don't judge ideas yet. Maybe if somebody adds some stuff, it might be a good idea in the future. Another good thing, which should be applied more often to meetings, I would say, one conversation at a time. Sometimes people are just talking too much, we're having too much parallel conversations. And this really helps to stay on the focus, this really helps to keep the conversation down and to create beautiful, good ideas. And if you're applying all those rules to brainstorming, you can create a whole bunch of ideas. With those ideas, the team after that is voting for those ideas. We have a full wall, usually with post-its, kind of clusters, and the team as a group, out of the expertise each of them is having, is voting for an idea you want to prototype on. So we're coming now to the fifth step actually in the design thinking process, to the prototyping. We are more or less building the idea, or we're building the idea the team voted for. So this prototyping is really, really important. But why are we prototyping and what is a prototype? First, what is a prototype? Prototypes may show something, how it looks and feels. For example, if you touch an iPhone, it has a really good feeling. It felt good made and all this kind of stuff. If you touch a cheap phone, for example, it's a totally different feeling. So prototypes help you to see a solution from a different kind of perspective. Prototypes make things tangible. You can really touch it. You can really feel it. You can try it. You can experience it. And why prototyping? So develop and iterate ideas so we can get early feedback from our end users. So we start with the idea at the beginning with a problem statement. We we understood the user. We try to observe him. And at the end, we build something. We as a team created ideas, hopefully to help him, but we still have to validate it. Is it really the thing you as user imagined you wanted to have? So this is all done by a prototype. So what kind of prototypes can we use for that? There are physical prototypes, for example. You can use Lego, which is probably the most fun way to prototype. There are so many great videos out there where people are just playing with Lego and just imagining a service or a little journey how people could use your service, for example. And this is a really fun way. The most, I would say, reasonable one is wireframing, how UI and UX designers probably do it the most. You just draw your application, you draw your solutions on a piece of paper and have on each paper a different kind of screen. People click through it and you get feedback. This really helps. It is cheap. You can do it really fast. You can change it really fast. So people, if you have the wireframe on the piece of paper, you can add with a pencil some additional stuff the user added to your solution. Another cool thing is acting. For example, if you have a service, if you have a custom experience, for example, you wanna show to the end user, you can also do acting, which is really a powerful tool because people see right away how you as a team would imagine them to use your solution. Coming to the fifth one, it's a really crazy one. So dark horse, probably, what is a dark horse? Dark horse is an idea which is really crazy. For example, how would Superman solve this problem? And then you come up with a really crazy idea. But then people start thinking of, well, okay, crazy idea, how would Superman solve it? We don't have Superman. It's probably not reasonable, we can't do it, we can't solve it like Superman. But this really helps us to break ideas down. Because it's easier to break a crazy idea down to a certain level instead of building up a not so good idea, kind of shitty one, to a crazy idea. So it's easier to go from top to bottom instead of bottom to top. Alright. So after we have done the prototype, we're at the last step more or less of the design thinking process. We're doing the testing. We go over to the end user and trying to test our solution. I said it. We have a tangible prototype. People can give feedback on it, and the slicker the prototype is, so the more easy it is and simpler it is, it's better for the end user to give feedback, because people are concerned about high fidelity prototypes. So if you, for example, if I would go with a completely developed app to an end user and ask him to give feedback, he would probably say, well, this looks good. But if I would go with a wireframe to him and ask him for feedback, he would not be so concerned to give feedback on this early stage of my solution. So this is one really important thing. So we actually test together feedback to learn about ideas, strengths and weaknesses, and to fail early. Because it's easier for us to fail early in the process, and it's easier to fail with a wireframe and the concept instead of failing with a completely built solution we have built in a couple of years, or over a couple of years. So this is really, really important to fail early while testing. So now coming to a really specific part which is important for SAP. SAP is a software company. We now got those prototypes, we played with Lego and all those kind of things. We tried to engage with our customers, specifically our team is trying to engage with the customer. We are a team which is dealing with high strategic customers for the SAP. So they wanna get something for their money. They don't want to just get the Lego, they want to have some piece of software. So we are going to the implementation phase. We're taking the prototypes and going over to implementation. We're taking those prototypes together with on the agreement level with the customer, and implementing those prototypes in a really piece of software. So we do a scope agreement. We have a project set up. Both parties, SAP and the customer, agree on a certain scope and create kind of a backlog. And then this is really specific for our team. We are a team which is doing this in the agile process. So this means we're having sprints of 1 week, and this lasts over 8 weeks. So we have 8 sprints, and each week we have a delivery, which we show to the customer, and at the end, hopefully, we will have a deliverable which we can show to the customer, and he will hopefully be happy with, because we have done so much research. We tried to understand him, we built prototypes, we tried to get his feedback, and during all this kind of cycles, those sprints, weekly sprints, we're also trying to collect his feedback. So you see, feedback is a really important thing. It's a really strong tool. So this is how SAP is trying to close the gap between just having a prototype in Lego and at the end having a solution which we can sell to a customer. So with that, we'd like to close this little journey of design thinking. It was really a quick run through. Usually those sessions are given over 4 days, and you can really experience it. Usually design thinking is easier to experience it, do it on yourself, and having instead of having a presentation. But still, we try to convey the message that design thinking might be a helpful tool for you and in your daily life and in your daily business. Any questions on that?
Yeah, John.
I do have a quick question.
Sure, go ahead.
From a design thinking point of view, it sounds as though the universe that you start with is the known universe.
The known or
Yeah. So you try to understand the problem. You understand the ecosystem of the problem, and then ideate afterwards.
Yeah.
The ideation living within that which is known. Do you ever find good ideas coming from outside that which we know? In the design thinking? Do you ever
the ideas can come from everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
everywhere.
we're basing the assumptions which we do use for the ideation is from the known world, and with whatever ideas you can come up with, all are allowed, so to say, and so you can come up with I don't know, fairies that deliver you your I don't know, breakfast every morning.
So you can throw out the known assumptions as well?
Yeah, but you should always just check if it's still that what people want.
At the end, you have to have those 3 things: feasibility, viability, and desirability. That's key more or less. So you can have an idea which is probably really desirable for the end user, but it might be not feasible from the technology side, but maybe also not viable from the business side.
Right.
So all those three things have to come into play and build one strong solution to have this piece of innovation we are looking for.
Okay. So the ferry can just become a drone that delivers you.
Maybe that, yeah. So you're always looking for something.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. One thing here. Manuel has his birthday today. He came here on his birthday, so let's give him a